Welcome back everyone to Etienne and with Michael Toma, and we have a good idea for a video today. We thought we would go over some things that we hear, trading realities we hear about that most traders don't really follow, or things we hate to hear as coaches in trading. So we'll kind of get to that, and we have some good ones here that are going to make you realize a few things, I believe. So we can dive right in. Michael, you want to kickstart things?
Yeah, well, great to be here in beautiful, sunny Montreal. Fantastic, great to have you.
City. So let's dive right in. One of the things I hate to hear about is someone describing their day or their success in their day with their P&L. Like, I made $100 today, I made $5,000 today, and therefore I had a good day. Michael, tell me your thoughts.
Drives me nuts sometimes. And again, some of the things we talk about, it's all love. I mean, it's all, we want everyone to be successful. And I love the people, as traders, who do a daily report card and analysis assessment. I had trouble, I made a mistake. That's okay. We're human, and it's so cool that you're documenting that. But then to say, well, I had a late trade, I leveraged up, I added size, but I got back to break even. Who cares? I mean, that metric is absolutely meaningless into the long term. It's about following a plan, following a process, and really, you just broke it. So what'd you do? You got back to break even. It means nothing, absolute zero impact on your ultimate trading goals. Stick to the process, stick to following your plan. Don't worry about the P&L, okay? Don't worry about it.
I love that. Big one.
Yeah, so along those lines, I mean, a lot of times we hear our Slack chat members say, I predicted this stock, I had a winning trade, I predicted it would go up. What do you think about that?
That's a fun thing. So people love to think they predict the market, they love to find patterns, they love to say, I told people that it will move up, they move up like I thought. And that's all cool and nice, but it's very hard long time to predict the market. They've done a big analysis over the past few years of predictions of experts, and they found that the experts in the market were about 48% accurate. So half the time they're wrong, which is pretty much as good as basic luck and randomness. So being able to predict is good. And sometimes you don't even need to predict to make money in the market. You can just take a trade, have an edge, and you still make money that way. So predicting is wrong. I hope it will do this, I hope it will go that way, is always a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and really, it's not our job.
No.
Our job is not to predict. Our job is to execute a plan that has positive expected value, and hopefully we'll see it through. So trying to predict, it's really, I'm terrible at picking stocks. It's terrible. I throw a dart can be better than my, so we're not in the job of prediction. We're in the job of execution.
I love that. Good one. One of the most overused saying in trading is the trend is your friend. You gotta follow the trend, trade that trend, you make money so easily. I don't really like it. I don't like it either, but tell me why.
Well, how's that working for you? I mean, it's because it's visually appealing to be sort of on something to visually do it. But quite honestly, the trend is your friend when the market's trending, and then you get on there. So you could do just as well on reversion, things like that. And quite honestly, and could I say this, Etienne? Trend is your friend? It's bullshit. I mean, just fine. If you have a trend strategy and you're following it, great. But remember, you got to pay for those losses too. And sometimes having a trend, it's not there, it's not going to pay for it.
Yeah, people love to see they see a big move on the chart. They say, if I just bought here and then end up here, it'll be 10 hours or something. And that's all very nice, but then I forget about the times where it doesn't trend. And when they buy here and they actually go out very close or at loss.
All right, it all depends where you get in. I mean, you get in 3/4 of the way into a trend, well, guess what? The trend isn't going to be your friend for too long. It kind of reminds me at the edge of one of your favorite ones where you say, you can never go wrong taking a profit.
It's a big one. Yeah, that's a tough one. So you often hear traders say they had a day where they cut the losses really short. They took profit, therefore they have a good day, they have a profitable month. And then the excuse is, you can never go wrong taking profit. I've never seen anyone go broke taking profits. And the thing is, you got to pay for your losses eventually. So you got to have some losses that are bigger. But if you have all these 0.1 R, 0.2 R, small trades, small winning trades, there's no way you can pay for your full loss of it. So that's it's counterproductive. You have a big move, you can really target a big move, but you go out early because you're scared. So you lose all that move. That could have been a 3 R, even a 2, 3, 4 R, and I could pay plenty for your losses, but people don't do that.
Yeah, that confidence that you get from taking that little profit, you'll probably be out of the business in 6 months.
Hi.
You mailed in my company a postcard a few weeks back requesting information on penny stocks that had huge upside potential with very little downside risk. Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute?
Very good, thank you.
Name of the company, Aerotine International. It is a cutting-edge, high-tech firm out of the Midwest awaiting imminent patent approval on a next generation of radar detectors that have both huge military and civilian applications. Now, right now, John, the stock trades over the counter at 10 cents a share. And by the way, John, our analysts indicate it could go a heck of a lot higher than that. Your profit on a mere $6,000 investment would be upwards of $60,000.
Yes.
Let me lock in that trade right now and get back to you with my secretary with an exact confirmation. Sound good?
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. One thing I love about Michael is his coaching skills. Able to coach traders really well, like ask them the right questions. He has a question he asks all traders at all levels when they struggle a little bit. You want to explain that questions and how that works out? I'm very curious to hear about it.
Yeah, and as a coach, we're evolving too. We have to understand the sensitivity. Again, it's all love, but sometimes you have to play tough. You have to
a little bit,
tough talk. And sometimes when you get this explanation and this like confidence in this strategy or this or what you do and how you do it, and quite honestly, we've never seen too much success with it. I sometimes follow up and say, how's that working for you? And if it is, great, keep it. We're coaches, but we're human too. We want to learn new strategies and what's working for you. But if it's not working, how's it working for you? If there's silence, there's a problem.
And it's something I would like to ask people sometimes because they believe that their way is the only way. I will tell you this later for sure, but they might see like a new strategy online. It's like a new technique. They want to use it. They believe it's like the right way for them to make money. And then they learn all about it. And they might learn a ton of it. But when you ask them how it's working for you, when you make money with it or not, it's like, well, I'm learning at the moment. I'm learning a lot. It's useful. I believe it's going to work in the market. But no, I don't make any money. I still lose money every month. That's the question.
It's sometimes the answer is screaming right in front of you. And don't say, maybe it works for Etienne. Sometimes my strategies, Etienne can't follow. I can't follow his. And there's a lot of different variables that come into it. But at the end of the day, you got to look and say, is this working? And one of the biggest things I see traders is they get married to a strategy and they're just convinced it's going to happen. Or maybe some big hotshot out of a big prop firm is working for them. Well, guess what? Newsflash, it's not working for you. It's okay. Move on. Don't get married. It's going to kill your career if you try and force something that just isn't working out.
Very good point.
Okay, here's one, Etienne. I know you're going to want high win rate, high reward rate. Bring it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I see a lot of comments on YouTube, especially under my videos sometimes. People say, oh, well, it just sucks because my strategy is a 90% win rate, 5R. I get 90% win rate, I win like a lot, and I win like big profits, and I'm successful with it. And the question is, you could ask, how's it working for you? The same thing. Because usually it's going to last for a little bit of time, then you're going to go back to a normal type of winning, normal 20% win rate or something with a 5-1. And that's really where it happens. So people who think you can have a high win rate, high reward, it's a myth. It's impossible to get. I've never seen anyone get this for long term. You could be lucky. You could have a few months where it's like really good and you have like big returns. But over the long term, I don't think that's possible to happen. And if you want to prove me wrong, you can. But after that, some people do that very often.
All right, prove you wrong, we'll hire you. We'll bring you on. But stick to really core metrics like profit factor, the core average win versus average loss. Those are things that are really going to tell the true depth of your strategy. And by the way, randomness, anything can happen in a short-term period. You could have that high win rate, but longevity, stick to the core stuff.
Yeah, and you can still have high win rate long term too, but you gotta have a smaller reward to risk, a much tighter take profits. That will give you a higher win rate. One of the fun things I see is people sometimes tend to tune out too fast from discussions. They might be, let's say, swing traders, and they don't want to hear anything about day traders. Well, there can be a lot of stuff you can learn from day traders if you swing trade. Or they trade like futures, so they don't want to learn from Forex traders. And there could be a lot of overlap things you can learn, different techniques. You want to tell me all about this?
Yeah, as a coach, one of the things we try to do is just broaden the scope, learn different things. You never know what avenue these markets. There's so many different ways to make money. That avenue is going to take you. But when someone says, well, we're having maybe a specialized session on future trading, and they're a Forex trader, and they say, well, I didn't attend because that's not really my thing. Open up. You'd be amazed. It could be a light bulb moment in your career. And one of the things as coaches is we don't know exactly what your hot button is, but we're going to throw enough at you to where maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe you'll learn it's not for me. That's fine too. But it could be the light bulb. It's 5 years ago, I didn't really trade options at all. I said, this math, I don't understand all this stuff. Now it's 80% of my trading value.
Yeah.
What if I didn't take the time to look forward to that? So sometimes the trading life takes you in weird circles. I think our job as coaches to really open the exposure to that. But it's up to you as traders to say, all right, at least I'm going to sort of attend and see what I could find out.
It's your job to be exposed to different ways, different techniques, different skills, to be able to see kind of what works for you. Yeah. Good point.
All right, one thing that, again, we all want everyone to succeed, but for traders, not doing the required work really that they're required to do. Yeah.
I've had calls with traders before who, like, you tell them exactly what to do step by step. You got to do this, you got to do this. It's very simple, like outline for them. But then you come back to them after a month, they've not done anything. It's still at the same level they were a month ago. Yeah. And they look for other strategies, they look online, they try to find different videos, they buy other courses somewhere else. They don't do what they need to do to succeed, basically. So it's a very tough truth. Yeah. That if you don't do the work that's required, and most people know what they have to work on. They know, like, the struggles. They know they reverse trade, they know they have this, they know they have a good strategy or a bad plan, which we'll talk about next, but they don't work on it. They find the other shiny object, the other thing that will be easier, like the other hack, the shortcuts, to get to their goals faster, but it just kind of makes them circle around.
Yeah, I mean, it takes more time. And the day of a trader, I mean, it's not about sitting in front of a screen for 8 hours. It's having your trading plan, having your development plan. These are basic stuff that try to establish in the first week. How about your trade journal? It doesn't have to be perfect. Let's get it started. But when we cut those corners like that, you could already see the path of which ones are going to be successful, which ones are not. And these are basic core stuff. So make sure, I know some of it's grunt work. We all want to see when I watch the flashing lights on the screen, but really this job starts and ends with the core things: trading plan, development plan, and journal.
And this is the thing that's fun. You have traders who have no plan and they hope to make money trading, and you have traders who have a big, like, 15-page plan, and then they try to, like, explain it or make money with the trading. Tell me more about trading plans and how that works out.
I don't have time to read 20-page plans, nor do I understand them. We found that no trading plan is not good at all. It has a low success rate, but these ones with the binders, 15, 20 pages long, they're even worse. The whole idea is your ability to execute. And really, your plan should be something that, like a 12-year-old can pretty much get the gist of it. 15-page plans, good luck if you can follow it. I've been doing this for pretty much a long time. I could not follow a 15-page trading plan.
Yeah, I've heard someone say before, the best strategies are when you can write on a napkin. If you can write on a simple paper, napkin, if you want, it's a good strategy. If it works, if it has an edge.
Keep it simple. Hey, along those lines, how about taking a prop firm challenge without having a plan?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think most people taking prop firm challenges these days don't have a plan. They have no clue what they're doing. They treat it like a casino where they can just pay a fee, hopefully win the account, and then trade the account afterward. But they don't realize that it goes the other way around. You got to have your plan first, your edge first, then you got to execute that edge correctly, then you got a chance to get funded. And it's a lot easier if you do it that way compared to, like, try to gamble your way through a prop firm. But that's frustrating, and also it takes probably less time, and you have a better chance to keep the account long term.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. And what's the scary part is if you don't have a plan, you may pass the challenge. Now you're really in problems because now you have funded money, and now you really don't. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. So, have that plan. I know it's tedious. Have that process. Test it. Not only see, okay, I have a plan that has an edge, but can you execute that edge in a live environment? If there's tech problems, there's this new platforms, maybe the challenge. Try it first, get familiar, then execute. Best thing, best formula. We find the highest success rate. Have a plan. Number one.
And I would say also the other thing is people sometimes, they either pay someone to pass it for them to get the account faster. Don't do that. That's a recipe for losing money, getting blocked by the prop firm anyway. Or the other thing is they try to pass it, they get some luck, and then once they pass it, they ask from someone else to trade the account for them. Yeah. And that's also a way where you have to be independent. You got to do it yourself. And if you have an account, then make sure you do it right and have your plan before you try to get the account.
Easy.
A lot better.
Yeah, perfect.
If you have a problem with your trading right now, that there's something you can do to fix it. And if you don't want to fix it, or if you don't accept that it's your responsibility to fix it, yeah, that's a big issue. Tell me more about this, Michael.
I mean, one of the things about traders and really any business success development is learn from your mistakes. Well, the first part of that is identifying the fact that, look, I made a mistake. There's so many variables here. We make mistakes all the time. But what we do is we own it. We'll document it, we'll post it, and also kind of have fun with them. I mean, sometimes in our Slack community, I'll put I stink or something with an emoji, and it's saying I admitted I made a mistake. And the question is, what did you do about it? If you don't diagnose or refuse to diagnose you're making a mistake, you're really just not helping yourself.
That's a big one.
And again, along those lines, what do you see when we see traders have a strategy and they kind of like it and then they hop to another one? Before really diagnosing the problem. I mean, the gold could be sitting right in front of you, but maybe it was something little you did, but they really strategy out without even figuring out what they did wrong.
Yeah, how many times I did that? The strategy helped, strategy found something different, something better because I had a losing week in that past week. Always, I've done this so often before in my early days of trading. Like if you have a strategy that's losing money, you want to figure out why. Is it the market? Is it you? Is it really your mindset or how you manage money with it? You like completely like put all your eggs in one basket, like risk a lot in one trade and hope for that trade to work out. Maybe that's the issue. If you've not found out the issue, then you don't really learn anything. Because by finding out the issues for why things don't work, you get to learn more about like the different parts in trading. There's your mindset, there's your execution, there's your risk management, and there's the strategy itself, how the strategy works. You want to achieve a clear edge, which you can have easily, but you also want to achieve it right in the market. And no strategy hard, don't go something else until you find the cause and solve the cause for your strategy not working out right now.
Right. Give it a little time. How do you know if the strategy has maybe a proven edge by another trader? At least give it a chance. Maybe it's just not right for you. That's fine. But maybe it's that light bulb moment. Give it a little chance and work out the tweaks, identify the problems, and again, talk to your coach mate too. Because hey, you got a little set, but just change this one little thing. Give it a little chance. Stop the hopping.
And the other thing I hear a lot, which is making me laugh sometimes, is like on YouTube, people in the comments will say, "Oh, I tried your strategy. I took 7 trades or 10 trades, and I lost like half of them or 7 of them out of 10 trades." And they'll say, "How can you make money trading? Yeah, the strategy loses money, but it's only 10 trades. It's a small sample size. You gotta give it time, like you said, and take enough trades with it to then see a proper result to it."
Right.
A week isn't me enough. A month's probably not enough even.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trading this strategy for 14 years, and I'm lose 60 times out of 100, but I'm still doing pretty well with it. So, give yourself that sample size to work out.
One of the toughest things is to coach a trader who's not willing to listen. Like you can't coach a trader who's not profitable. You can make them profitable over time, but someone who doesn't want to listen to your advice, that's kind of useless.
I mean, it is. I mean, we want everyone to succeed, and we understand there's a little stubbornness, frustration. We're traders. I mean, we all have a little ego to ourselves too, but sometimes listen to what the coaches have to say. Listen to what your peers have to say, your trading partner stuff. Some of it may not resonate with you, but remember, they're looking at it from experience, big sample sizes, and say, well, okay, you may not believe that, but less than 1% of the traders succeed while doing what you're doing. Is you going to be an outlier? Very possible. And we love when we see outliers, but listen to what they're saying. You're not going to figure it out in one day, but just absorb it and say, okay, I got to at least respect what my coach is telling me.
If you're someone who listens to advice and you want to actually get coached by a real trader, we have some courses at Desires Trade with Michael. Michael is one of our coaches who's doing really well in the community and the programs. If you want to know about what we do and how we can help you out, check out the link below. We'll put all of the courses there so you can check it out. Connect with Michael directly if you want to and start to learn from us and get coached. And we'll be happy to help you get to the next level, scale up, and at least get profitable, then scale up your trading to that next level. So thank you, Michael, for these tips. Good discussion as always. Love to talk with you. And we'll come back pretty soon for another video. Ciao.